called out youth crime in particular. Just over the weekend, D.C. police say a young man fired another group of young people with a stolen gun in a popular neighborhood. He was arrested, and there were no victims. Now, a juvenile curfew is in effect in the area where the shooting took place. The president says his announcement this morning, though, like you said, Brian, will not only be about crime, it will also be about making the nation's capital more beautiful, saying the city is only getting dirtier and less attractive.
So, as I mentioned, just a few hours, President Trump will be holding a news conference addressing his crackdown on crime in D.C. and his plan to clean the place up and make our capital beautiful again.
Madeline Rivera joins us live from the Capitol with the latest. Hey, Maddie.
Good morning. The White House says their efforts are in line with an executive order the president signed in March to make D.C. safer. He says, in part on Truth Social, the homeless have to move out immediately. We will give you places to stay, but far from the Capitol. The criminals, you don't have to move out. We're going to put you in jail where you belong. It's all going to happen very fast, just like the border. President Trump has mobilized agents from several federal agencies for at least 7 days to fight violent crime. These include the ATF, DEA, and U.S. Park Police. The Washington Post reports the FBI is also reassigning more than 100 agents to overnight shifts to help local police, and a decision to call up the National Guard could come later on today. D.C.'s mayor says the city's crime rate is down 20%, though, compared to last year, and she's concerned that the Guard may not be used efficiently, but she acknowledges the president has the power to deploy them.
While it is always the president's prerogative to use federal law enforcement or the National Guard even, I've talked on your show before that the D.C. National Guard is the president's National Guard. Right. So that's always his prerogative. And federal law enforcement is always on the street in D.C., and we always work cooperatively with them.
This is a strange turn of events. So usually on MSNBC, you have no quarter being given to the president, especially in situations like this where he is being accused of taking over DC over fake claims of violent crime. That's the title of one of the videos that MSNBC has put out on this issue. However, it's refreshing to see a balanced take on the president's role in Washington, D.C.
The president has called out youth crime in particular. Just over the weekend, D.C. police say a young man fired another group of young people with a stolen gun in a popular neighborhood. He was arrested, and there were no victims. Now, a juvenile curfew is in effect in the area where the shooting took place. The president says his announcement this morning, though, like you said, Brian, will not only be about crime, it will also be about making the nation's capital more beautiful, saying the city is only getting dirtier and less attractive. Lawrence Ainsley and Brian.
Hey, Maddie, the one thing I would say is, do you notice both leaders, different parties, but they're very respectful for each other? It's kind of rare. The mayor was respectful to the president. Here the crime stats are down, but I'll take his help. And the president said, he's a great person, but I got to insert myself.
Yeah, it was interesting hearing the D.C. Mayor Muriel Bowser's tone over the weekend talking about this federal resources, local police. They've been very cooperative on this issue. But how could you not, who doesn't want to make D.C. safer at this point? Yeah.
So true.
Absolutely.
Thanks, Maddie.
All right. Thank you, Maddie.
This is the issue of our time. It's not just D.C. It's all these liberal cities all across the country. And this just happens to be the capital. And the gangbangers have been getting away with it. The teens are carjacking all over the place. I know they want to say that the numbers are down, but if you talk to people that are there, they don't feel that way.
Well, she said...
So looking at the numbers, and they say that the statistics say one thing. There's also what people feel in the streets. They don't feel safe because of the increase in carjackings. Now, if you have private security or if you live in a more secure part of Washington, D.C., you would say, well, I think the numbers reflect what we're feeling on the streets. But the general feeling is that crime is on the rise.
She said the numbers are down 35%, or I think she said 2 years ago they were down 35%. And they've gone down again over the last year. But if you look at the statistics for the teenagers, for the juveniles, that's the problem. And they're staying out so late. So good for them for implementing this curfew. And the president addressing the homeless problem with those pictures. It looks so disgusting to have all the trash on the street and all the tent encampments.
Well, I'd tell you, I was at Union Station 2 weeks ago, just on just my eye, anecdotally.
Which is their subway.
Much better.
The subway comes in, right?
The subway, where the Amtrak comes in. So I think it looks better already. But they said 121 more FBI agents. But Lawrence, what do you do with teenagers? So 16, 17, you can't charge them as adult, yet they're beating up guys like Big Balls.
you change the statute.
You know, and with
You
shooting Redskin running backs.
You change the statute and you still charge them as adults. If they're part of this, or you put them in the program where they can't leave the juvenile detention facility. But right now you have DAs that are essentially not doing their job. So what they plan on doing is the feds charging us. That way the U.S. attorney can handle it, Janine Pirro.
Yeah, I like that Muriel Bowser did say it's his prerogative. If the president wants to use federal law enforcement, he can. But she did mention over the weekend in lots of different interviews that crime is down. She said specifically it's decreased 26% over the past year. But clearly there's still a problem. You have that congressional intern that was shot. He was accidentally in the line of fire. Someone was trying to hijack his car or take a lady's car, and he intervened to protect her, and he ends up. That's the other guy.
He got beat up senseless by a group of teens.
Yeah. So they definitely need to clean it up.
So you have gangs of teens running around Washington, D.C. committing crimes. And I think if the local law enforcement won't do the job, the president has to step in to make sure that the nation's capital is safe. Well, that's my opinion. Let me know yours in the comments section. Let me know what you think about President Trump stepping in. And of course, we will be having other perspectives from outlets like CNN and MSNBC. The tilt will be that the president is overstepping his bounds, like the title that we saw from MSNBC. Trump threatens takeover of DC over fake claims of violent crime. Well, the people who suffer the violent crimes don't think those claims are fake. So leave your comments in the comment section. Don't forget to subscribe, like, and share. Hit the bell icon to be notified when fresh content is published by me, because it helps out a whole lot.